Welcome back. Last video I uploaded on the real problem with the middle class had a lot of feedback, a lot of comments, so I'm going to read some of those towards the end of this video. This one for now is going to talk about the migrant hotels. If you own a property and you can have guaranteed funds from the government to have those filled up, that is going to be preferable in many cases than just having it available to the public to rent out the hotel rooms. Throughout the country, hotels are being bought up by investors, and then they're being turned into migrant shelters. This could be good, this could be bad. One guaranteed thing for sure is that it's raising the rates and it's raising the cost of living in these places.
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm a human being.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Oh, we're doing a video all about Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah. What's Making Opportunity? What are you?
It's MOC. It's an organization.
Okay.
Non-profit. There's the WIG programs, housing.
Okay. For who?
What do you mean for who?
Who are the people you're housing?
Anybody who needs help.
So any homeless person or anyone can come here. Okay. Where are the people from, like the majority of people from?
There's different places.
Okay. Do they need to have papers for this? As in asylum documents? Or it doesn't matter?
I don't think you can share that information.
What's that?
I don't think you can share that information with you.
You can't share. Why not?
My job, sorry.
They won't let you?
Yeah.
Who funds you guys?
My question is, why wouldn't you be able to share that information? If all of these hotels are being paid for by taxpayers, why can we not know whether or not people have the proper papers? He just could be incorrect in saying that he can't share that, but it doesn't make sense that he wouldn't be able to. And clearly he knows the answer, because if the answer was, yes, you have to have proper documentation, then he would just tell you that. So let's take a visit to their website, because the reality is we can't just judge an organization off of one video and how something is framed. I want to be fair. Family and child. Poverty doesn't care about age. The youngest members of our community are often the most affected by being poor. We provide a wide range of services that help families create an environment that allows children to thrive. Now, I'm of the opinion that if we do take in migrants, that I would prefer that they be families. The more kids, the better. I think we do have a child problem. We don't have enough children in this country. Okay, emergency support, medical services. I mean, this is their website. But on the surface, I don't hate this program. How it ends up being implemented is my concern, and whether or not there's transparency here.
Who funds you guys? Is it the state? Is it the state of Massachusetts? Mm-hmm. Okay. Are all the doors full, or can someone go there now if they're homeless?
It has to go through the process of an application.
Okay, but currently is it all the doors full, every room's full, or you have availabilities?
No, it's all full.
It's all full. Okay. Do you know if these asylum claims that the government's giving them work papers so they can actually work if they want to?
What do you mean?
Oh, a lot of the asylum claims seekers, they have legal documents. They have the legal right to be here, but the government's not giving them work papers. So do you notice a lot of that? A lot of people just wanting to work and they can't work?
Yeah, some of them. That's why they have the caseworkers that try to help them with that.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going today?
Good.
We're just making a video on central Massachusetts and some of the regions out here. We were just at Wachusett Mountain and we figured we'd drive through this town just to get a glimpse of how this town's a little bit different, how the area's changed, and we figured we'd stop here.
You shouldn't be on this property.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we need to ask you to leave.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I mean, the kid was pretty cool. He didn't ask that his face be blurred out, and obviously that woman did, but I thought the kid was pretty honest and straightforward as much as he could be. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to lose his job by telling.
That's usually how it is, Peter. All these non-profits and government-funded groups, they don't give you any insight.
Could we finish this painting, please? There's some OCD viewers out there that are just, this is driving them nuts.
What's going on, which is causing what's a lot of the fear for the...
I was just in Kensington, and there was a group there that's doing a lot of work, and there's just a lot of closed doors and tight lips, and I think that's where the issue is when there's no transparency. Let's explain to the public what's going on exactly. This isn't an anti-immigrant, migrant stance.
Yeah.
It's hey guys, we're in a big country here. We've had an influx of over, who knows the number, let's just say Customs Border Protection website, I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, but let's just say in the last 3.5 years, 4 years, we're looking at like 10 to 12 million that we know of, and then a ton that we don't know of. And so when we have communities in the country with higher rent prices, more of a strain on the resources, you know, everyone's life has become a little bit harder with inflation. Things have, you know,
Gone up in
I don't
price,
think
yeah.
everyone's life is going better, especially the middle class right now. And so they want to know where their tax money is going, especially in a state like Massachusetts where you're taxed a lot. And I don't think it should be a question at all to ask the question.
Excuse me, sir. Are you guys open right now? Are there any rooms available? Oh, no rooms available right? How come?
The shelter.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
The shelter for the homeless people.
Where are the homeless from?
Street, homeless. Oh,
All over.
yeah.
Oh, here's the number right here.
Then you can call that number.
If you're looking for accommodations at a hotel, this building is no longer one, as adult shelter only. We don't know who's staying here though, right?
The guy over there in air said it was migrants. A lot of them are mixed with homeless now. Like the guy was saying, it was originally homeless in the
Oh, it's
other one we
open.
went to.
Okay, I would really like to know who's staying here. It could be just homeless people, but he was saying it was migrants.
Yeah.
Sir, why are you wearing the mask?
Because COVID.
COVID?
You guys bringing COVID here.
I'm bringing COVID in here.
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah. Read the call
You
that
got
number.
you,
gonna.
you got mpox. You got mpox in here.
Look at it. Look at it.
Mpox too.
Get out of here.
Sounded like my Uncle Donnie. Get out of here. Get lost.
Well, they had monkeypox vaccines at all the pharmacies near here for a while. You drive by, it said monkeypox vaccine,
So he put on the N95
and stood behind a door.
and stood behind a door.
So I wear body cams a lot because I go to yard sales and garage sales, and I make content. Nobody is ever cagey about having a camera, ever. They think it's cool. They want to be on camera. So when people get really sus about being recorded, you always got to wonder, like, what's going on? Like, it's clearly you're not wanting to be seen on camera for some reason. The only exception I have to that is when there's children around. I try not to record children unless their parents are okay with it, just because putting people's kids up on the internet without consent, I don't think is cool, even though legally, technically, we're in a public place. But yeah, this is clearly something funny going on here.
Guys, it's really hard to get you the deep information on this one. Getting access or people to speak is pretty much impossible. Well, I'm guessing the federal government's going to pay per migrant head or something.
Per room, per family, and they get accommodations based off
Right.
that.
To give you an idea, at least what they're being paid in New York, hotels are set to easily rake in well over $1 billion in taxpayer funds for turning their buildings into migrant shelters. Again, like I said earlier in the video, if you're getting paid by the government, it's guaranteed money, and so it's preferable than just going straight private to consumers. I've done government work, and it's always guaranteed paid, and it's always paid on time. Of the 193 migrant shelters being used by the city to house 65,300 individuals, 153, or nearly 80%, are hotels, motels, or inns, according to an internal document obtained by the Post. And what's funny here is this also coincides with kind of the same timing that Airbnb has exploded. So it's almost like Airbnb took away some of the market share from these hotels and motels, but they supplemented that loss with these migrant hotels opening up to migrants. So it's kind of interesting. Like perhaps, maybe Airbnb will eventually get into migrant housing as well. New York City is spending on average $160 per hotel room to house migrants, officials said, although some operators reportedly have banked more than $300 a night per room since migrants first began being bussed up from the southern border in spring 2022. The taxpayer tab for the daily migrant shelter costs overall is $352 per household. So this is per day, $352 per household. And a lot of people, probably a lot of you watching this, you don't even use $350 per day. $200 if you have a family. Like, that's $6,000 a month at $200 per day. Through May 31st, of the estimated $4.88 billion spent on the migrant crisis, $1.98 billion went toward housing, which includes the cost for hotels, but also other shelters such as the sprawling tent cities at Floyd Bennett Field and Randall's Island, according to the Office of the Management and Budget.
Safety concerns being raised. Mayor Adams is moving forward with plans to house migrants at Floyd Bennett Field.
All right, Fox 5's Morgan McKay got a tour of the facility in Brooklyn and how the city plans to tackle those safety issues.
Everybody's going to come through a bus.
It's the newest tent city meant to house migrant
Whoa. They're setting one of these up in downtown Salt Lake. Is that what that's for? That's crazy. I saw this just like 2 weeks ago, one of these being set up in Salt Lake, and I was wondering what that was about. And it's downtown where we have a lot of homeless
families. Tucked away on the Floyd Bennett Field, far removed from any neighborhoods, is where this new shelter site sits.
We've built sites now in parks, parking lots, and now literally an airport runway. We're having to create new space because we don't have any other space we can access in New York City.
Similar to the other migrant shelters, this first tent is set up to give migrants ID badges. Vaccines will be available so kids can get enrolled in school right away. And these migrant families will be connected to a caseworker so they can start on their paperwork. Next is the cafeteria, then outside are where the bathrooms and showers are set up. There is one bathroom for every 15 people who will live here.
We're going to have a couple of other unique things, including a Health and Hospitals ambulance that's going to be outside in case there's any medical emergencies.
Now, this next tent is different than the other tent shelters the city has set up so
dystopian.
far. This tent includes what are called housing pods.
So it's broken up into pods for families of sizes up to 6.
So there are 128 pods for 500 people. This is a look at just one of the pods. There are 5 cots, a pack and play. Children 3 months old and up can live in one of these pods. There will be 3 additional tents built out for families, so a total of 2,000 migrants will live on this site. Migrant families will only be allowed to stay here for 60 days. There was some concern expressed by local leaders over the remoteness of the area, fire safety, and the possibility for flooding. But the city insists that these tents are safe and says shuttles will run every 90 minutes from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Every time we open up one of these sites, there is a dozen things that we have to address.
Zach is cool. I can't believe that's his name. Then there's this migrant shelters per zip code in New York. From that article we were reading, I guess the red dots, Staten Island.
Because they're not going to label it. Give this one a try. Yep. Yes, they have the signs covered up. Okay, let's try to check in as guests. Okay, this has to be a hotel because look at all these cars. Just drive to the back, actually. Here we go. Okay, we have some nice cars in here. All right, yeah, people are living here. This is not a hotel right now.
Hey, how's it going? Could I get a room if you don't mind?
Yeah, actually, it's no longer a hotel anymore.
Okay, what is it if you don't mind me asking?
It's a private community, like a shelter.
Is it for homeless people in the area?
Yes.
It's a hybrid of homeless and then migrants, right?
Yes, refugees in general.
Asylum claims.
Yes, exactly. No, it's like a shelter. It's for everywhere. There's American people here, too.
Hi,
Hey,
how you doing?
Going? Doing
Good.
all right,
We're trying
thank
to
you.
understand. So we know some homeless people that want to go to a shelter. How do they do that?
Are they families or individuals?
Individuals.
Individuals, that's a whole different process, and it depends where the area they're from.
Okay. But you're just seeing a huge uptick, right?
Oh yeah.
You can get your COVID booster?
Oh yeah, all 15 of them.
USCIS, okay, there's the immigration services. That's interesting.
Okay, listo, gracias. Sí, de nada.
You guys have health care here?
Mass Health.
Oh, that's good, I heard.
I don't really work at this shelter like that. So
Oh, okay.
Every shelter works differently, so I know that they're supposed to have staff that can
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Okay. What percentage is it migrants versus U.S. homeless, would you say?
I mean, right now, this whole entire year, we've been assisting a lot more migrant families.
Migrant families, yeah.
But for individual people, it works differently, and that's if they can get in, because right now they're changing all the regulations and stuff.
Not to interrupt, doesn't the state hook them up with a cell phone and everything like that, or some situations? Okay.
No, the feds do.
Yeah.
But that's terrible. They're kicking people out.
Yeah, from overflow shelters and yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I've seen.
But big increase overall last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
We all want answers. We all want transparency. And when you have something done so secretively, it makes people wonder what's going on.
Exactly.
So I think that would quell a lot of the anxiety or the questions if we just had a transparent authority say, here's what we're doing. This hotel is for migrants. They are allowed to work. They get no free meals, no health care. Or this hotel is for migrants. They're not allowed to work. They get food, health care, school. Nobody knows. We're all sort of left in the dark right now, which is very unfortunate and very dishonest. Most Americans are great people. We're getting pitted against one another with this issue because nobody really knows what's going on.
I'm going to go over the comments from the last video, which was the middle class has a real problem. So I'm going to link to that video up in the corner above if you want to watch that. But Tarkusain says the real economy and the monetary financial economy have been slowly decoupling for the last 50 years. We are in the throes of the end of growth-based capitalism. The only way that we can make the numbers grow is by inflating them and creating more money. Storing the wealth in large funds and nebulous accounts, it's all imaginary and has real-world effects. I understood this fact when George Bush implored people to spend at Christmas in a presidential address in 2001. It blew my mind, and the more I thought about it, the more I understood. This doesn't mean that you should fall into a rabbit hole with conspiracy or wild plots, but understand that the systems we have are tenuous and are held together with bubblegum and thoughts and prayers. We live in a great time, and we will struggle too. Then Isaac Dozier1 replied to that comment by saying, what's terrifying is the timing. Is it just a coincidence? It coincides with a certain generation dying off? Because that means the pain is going to get much worse. The alternative is the drop happens sooner than that, and said generation will not adapt, but become even greater burden than they currently are. The future is going to be expensive. Jaren881 says, working hard doesn't work anymore, my man. That's old advice that worked in the past. And he's referring to my closing argument in that video. And then GT responded to there saying, working hard while parasites live on your back has never worked. Working hard is not the problem, however. MetaMemes says, if you live near body temperature, consider spirulina farming. Spirulina seems to be some kind of green algae superfood. I guess they grind it up and turn it into powders and pills. Guy in the video you are watching gets several things wrong. People buying stocks does not make the underlying companies richer. They don't get that money, and the low mortgage rates were not 4%, they were 2.5%, etc. I think though 4% was probably the average. Just because the lowest you could get was 2.5% doesn't mean necessarily that everybody qualified for 2.5%. So 4% was probably the average, or between 3.5 and 4.5, which would be 4. And let's see. And Alta replies, the man in the video is correct. What he means is that stock buying increases the valuation of the company, and the company usually owns most of its stock. Therefore, when institutions and individuals bid up the price of stock, they're going to be able to sell more stock to get funding. It definitely makes the company wealthier. Also, most people were not able to get 2.5%. Wow, this is funny. I didn't even read this comment. Average borrower was getting 3 to 4% at the low point. And then Aaron Morgan says, it isn't all you can do. And I think he's referring to me. That, again, that was my closing argument, that all you can do is just work harder and be smarter. The rich are doing better than ever. Fixed it for you. Yeah, thank you, Bounce Day. That is true. The rich are doing better than ever is always a true statement throughout history. Because as society gets richer, of course, the rich are going to be doing better than ever. I will add the poor are doing better than ever as well. Problem is the inequality. The rich are getting better at a faster pace.